want to say all praises and honor to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Rakakadash, and the brothers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all our brothers out there push the truth. In all sincerity and in all honesty, this is a brother from James, Jamaica camp. I'm Yashamai.
And the actual Paul.
And this evening, one of my video, you see me on ESAU EDOM. You see, because it's according to the scripture, ESAU, I will basically rule, and then after ESAU rule, Jacob. You see me, and according to matter of fact, brother, you can bring it out for me. 2 Ezra 6 and 7. ESAU basically rule, you see me, at the end. And then Jacob will basically rule after. So ESAU basically one in power right now. And what Edomites today, you so-called white people. Basically ESAU Edom. According to the scripture,
right? 2 Ezra 6 verse 7.
One.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
One.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow it?
And the beginning of it that follow it. One.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac.
Abraham unto Isaac, going back to Genesis.
Right.
One.
When Jacob and Esau was born.
When Jacob and Esau was born. You see me, and who is Esau? People say Esau basically come out red all over like an airy garment. Which are the so-called white people today. And Jacob are basically so-called Negroes, Latinos and Native American Indian. See, they're basically Jacob. What?
Jacob and first Esau.
What?
For Esau is the end of the world.
For Esau is the end of the world. You see me? So Esau rule right now. What?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
And Jacob is the beginning of it. So our kingdom is next after this destruction of this wicked society. Our kingdom is next. So we're going to basically rule all nations in righteousness.
Right.
No? We're going to basically have earth in perfect order. You see me? And Yahushua. You see, Yahushua kingdom. We're going to be giant tears as according to the scripture. With Yahushua, Lord will hope and pray we know the work at the end. You see, because living in this society, you see, there's nothing but stress and problem in the ESAU kingdom.
Right.
You see, because Esau is basically a wicked man according to the scripture. According to Malachi 1 and 4, say, Edom, you see me, thou shall call him what? The border of wickedness. And nothing but wickedness take place in this society. Destruction upon destruction. You know, because that's how Esau lived, yo. You see me, going back to Genesis, the blessings where our forefather Isaac gave to Esau Edom, the sword. You see, you can't bring it out from me, brother. So them are the one that basically use the sword right across the world and all the nation them, especially our people. One.
Genesis 27 and verse 39.
One.
See, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth,
One.
and of the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword.
And by thy sword, scripture said, by thy sword, one,
shall thou live.
by thou shalt thou live, talking about Edom, so-called white people, one.
Right. And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass that when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke from off thy neck.
Can give me Isaiah 14 and 5, brother. See, so it's say, by thy sword shalt thou live. So the so-called white man live by his sword, by a weapon. You see, by military. You see, like for example, the American military force. You see me, what they basically go around the world now, they have much a different military base, right? Spread thin across the world.
Right.
So it's say, by the sword, they're going to live, by the weapon. One.
So, Isaiah 14 verse 5.
One.
So the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked.
So the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked, broken the power. You see me, the so-called white man. You see, we live in a time when Heavenly Father going to pull them down. One.
And the scepter of the ruler, he who smote the people in wrath with continuous strokes.
He who smote the people in wrath. You see me, brother, just read the scripture earlier in Genesis, said, you see me, by thy sword shall thou live. So talking about who right here, the so-called white man, which are basically ESAU Edom. So people say, he who smote the people in wrath. You see me, all the nations across the world. Then basically be destroying, destabilizing countries. You see me, going back, you see me, to slavery. When Christopher Columbus come over here, you see me, much of the basically not doing tribe them slaughter. So that's how them live. You see, just check them track record. So the scripture says, he who smote the people in wrath, talking about the so-called white man, starting from the banking elite right now. One.
You smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
With a continual stroke, and them continue to do it. You see me, years after years. You see me, until it's very day. What?
He that ruled the nation hunger. persecuted and none hindered.
One.
Verse 7. So the whole earth is at rest.
Can't say the whole earth are going to be at rest when them come out of power, because them are the one that cause all the problem on the earth. You see, give me Revelation, brother. Revelation 6.
See, Revelation 6 and verse 4. And they went out under the horse that was red.
Talking about what? The so-called white man, you see, because they are basically the one in power, as I mentioned earlier. You see, this is a freedom kingdom, and us basically represent power. You see me? And Hebrew words basically Edom is Adawam. Basically mean red. So they are the red horse. They represent the red horse because they are the one in power. Go on.
And power was given to him that sat thereon.
And power was given to him. Going back to Job 9 and 24. So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And Malachi 1 said, Edom, thou shalt call them the body of wickedness. So she said, power was given unto them. Given to who? Given to the so-called white man. You see, go on.
To take peace, and power is given to him.
One.
That sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
To take peace from the earth. That's the reason we have so much violence that take place right across the earth. Go on.
They should kill one another.
Go on.
And there was given unto him a great...
And there was given unto him a great sword. Going back to the first scripture read. Second scripture read. Genesis. 27 and 40.
Hey.
You see, by that sword shall thou live. Go on.
And that's why you have America and all of the other nations, them, right? Have these ICBM missiles, man. You know what I mean? And all of them weapons, man. Because in the military, basically, what them used to, you know what I mean, to suppress the people, man.
Gone.
You know what I mean? And oppress the people, man. But as scripture say, oh, they were blessed with the sword, man.
Gone.
You know? So it's so the whole earth is at rest.
So this is what will happen after this third world war destruction we're approaching, right? So we say the whole earth are going to be at rest when this wicked society get destroyed. You see me, because white people and basically get removed from out of power. The earth are going to be at rest because they are the one that cause all the problem earth. They are the one that basically spraying chemtrails daily in the sky. They put in fluoride in the water, give us GMO food, Monsanto, that company, all these type of things basically we have are enduring in this society. Is it turning the woman into a lesbian, turning the man into basically a bottom man. He said, they want to do all these things, this LGBTQ thing push across the world. So they want to cause all the problem on the earth. So Super said the whole earth are going to be at rest. One?
They break forth into singing.
They break forth into singing. They're going to celebrate. Everybody are going to celebrate. Even the other nation, they're going to celebrate. You see, in our kingdom, after 1,000 years, they're going to basically get them little thing for go on with. You see, but according to the scripture, you see, after 1,000 years, the so-called white people might get wiped off. After 1,000 years hardcore slave, they might get basically wiped off of the earth. So if the other nation, they might basically rejoice. As people say, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked break rule, the people mourn. One.
So the whole earth is at rest.
One.
It's quiet. They break forth to singing.
One.
Yeah, the fir trees rejoice.
Even the trees are going to rejoice. You see me? People are going to rejoice and the trees are going to rejoice also. Because, they've been cutting out the trees, What are the Amazon, one?
And there's of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, some fellow is come up against
Since thou art laid down, since thou removed from out of power, no fellow is come up against us.
This is Ezekiel 25 verse 12.
One?
So, thus say the Lord God, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance.
By taking vengeance, because that's what the basically do. You see, they take vengeance people. You see, in that time they come, they're going to way more worse than basically what they've been doing over the years. You see, from that time of slavery coming up. You see, because we're approaching when they're going to basically lose them power, and according to the scripture, people say they're going to be like what? Madman spirit, none, they're going to spear people, right?
Dealt against the house of Judah and by taking vengeance, and had greatly offended and revenged himself. Therefore thus say the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hands upon Edom.
So Lord said, I'm going to stretch out in hand upon Edom, which are you so-called white people.
Right. And I will cut off man and beast from him.
So Lord said, I'm going to cut off man and beast from it.
And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom.
So Lord said, I'm going to lay vengeance upon Edom. Lord, use You so-called white people should have the truth because Edomites, Hebrew Edomites punish us for our transgression. You see me? In return, the Lord use us to punish honor.
Because scripture in Psalm say, deliver me from men which are thine hands.
Right.
See, so when the Lord wants anything to be done, man, you know, a particular set of people on the earth, man, use to do a bidding. Now Esau was created for the vessel fitted for destruction, man. And the vessel to create evil and revelation, to take peace from the earth, man.
Right.
See, so Jacob are the one who are going to restore that peace, you know what I mean, in that time to come.
Right.
See? So I will lay vengeance upon by the hands of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury.
So they're going to do Edom according to the Lord's anger. So even if I'm going to put theme anger in us, so basically judge all you so-called white people. So we repeal every single thing under to us as a nation.
They shall know my vengeance, say the Lord.
Exactly. See, and, hey, we're approaching the time right now. You know, when so-called white men get removed from out of power. You see, as we read the scripture said, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Which last minute or last kind of so-called white man kingdom, which is a good thing. You see, because the society, you see, we have need of destruction right now to live like a wickedness what take place in the society. Need of destruction. You see, when I tell you, Lord going to basically judge the society, you have Hashem Shai, and judge this wicked society. And so with that, I say all praises and honor to Yahweh Hashem Shai, for Hashem Kodash. And the blood the apostles and elders and people in stone. Shalom to all our brothers out there pushing truth in our sincerity and in our honesty. Shalom.